Hey guys, here's a video to help you with finding inverses. So say you're given a function and we ask you to solve for the inverse. This video will take you step by step in how to do that. Alright, so for the steps for solving for an inverse, your first step is to switch your x and your y. Then you're going to solve for y, then rewrite your equation with f inverse of x instead of the y itself. So our first example, we're going to find the inverse of f of x equals 7x plus 3. So remember f of x is just a special way of saying y. So this is the exact same thing as saying y equals 7x plus 3. Okay, so my first step is to switch my x's and my y's. So I'm going to write as x equals 7y plus 3. Alright, your second step 2 is to solve. So if I want to solve for y right here, then I need to subtract 3. So I get x minus 3 equals 7y. And then I need to divide by 7 because I want the y by itself. So y is equal to x minus 3 divided by 7. Alright, and then your very last step is to change it from y equals to f inverse. So f inverse of x is equal to x minus 3 divided by 7, which you can also see it as 1/7 x minus 3/7. Okay, both of these are correct because they're the exact same. Okay, that's one of the most basic examples. Now we're going to take it one step further. So say you have g of x equals x squared plus 3. So as we just said in the last example, this is the same thing as saying y equals x squared plus 3. So my first step is to change it from y equals to x equals. So x equals y squared plus 3. My second step now is to solve for y. So solving for this right here. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. So I get x minus 3 equals, hold on, I'm trying to get that thing unclicked. There you go. X minus 3 equals y squared. Now, in order to undo the squared, we have to take the square root of both sides. So y is equal to the square root of x minus 3, with the minus 3 under the parenthesis, or under the radical. That is super important, because if you put the minus 3 on the outside of the radical, it means something completely different. Alright, now your last step is to change your y back to g inverse. So g inverse of x is equal to the square root of x minus 3. And that right there is your answer. Okay. Alright, next one. This one's really complex, but we're just going to take it one step at a time. So we're going to find the inverse of h of x, which is equal to 1/2 square root of x minus 4 plus 2. So our first step is to change it to x equals. So I have x equals 1/2 square root of y minus 4 plus 2 on the outside. Okay, now I'm going to solve for y. Sorry about that. Let's get rid of that. Alright, so now I'm going to solve for y. Sorry. Okay, the first thing that I need to do is I need to move that 2 over, because if I don't move that first, then I'm going to mess up somewhere in my order of operations. So this is the very first thing that I need to do. So I have x minus 2 is equal to 1/2 square root of y minus 4. Okay, the next thing that I need to do is I need to get rid of that 1/2. In order to do that, I need to multiply both sides by 2 because 2 is on my denominator. So when I do that, this 2, or the 1/2, and the 2 will cancel. And I'm going to go ahead and distribute this 2. So 2 times x is 2x, 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, equals the square root of y minus 4. Okay, then as we just stated in our last set of examples, in the last video, the square root and the squared function undo each other. So in order to get rid of the radical, I need to square both sides. So this side will be squared, and so will this side. And I'm just going to leave it as 2x minus 4 squared. That's totally okay. And that's going to equal y minus 4. Now my very, very, very last step, now after all this craziness, is to just add 4 once my pen works. So plus 4 to both sides. So I'm going to write it over here on the right. So you get y equals 2x minus 4 quantity squared plus 4. And then as we said before, our very last step, so step 3, is to change it back. So I have h inverse of x is equal to 2x minus 4 quantity squared plus 4. And that's my answer. Okay. Alright, I hope this helped. If y'all have any questions or concerns, feel free to ask in class. But basically, you just take it one step at a time by switching your x's and your y's, solve for y, and then change it back to whatever letter of the function that it was. Good luck!